What's up, Chris Gonzalez? Dollar for being late. That's why we put up the face every time he's late. He's El Mamón de San Antonio. What's up, Sam Salinas? Good morning. Tex-Mex Frank. What's up? Buenos dias. Matt Gomez. Otra vez. No mames. Yep. The Edgar strikes back. Edgar strikes back. Yeah, we're gonna be joined by Jeff Garcia. We're gonna bring him on about 10:15. I'm talking about anything and everything that has to do with your San Antonio Spurs. Wait, my ad, right? Tex-Mex Frank. Mike needs a mini grito. Yeah, happy hump day, Charlie Hernandez. Appreciate you for watching. Jesse, good morning, cuh. That's right. Cancel Jimenez, yes. And if you want to call in, we'll flash the number here in a little bit so y'all can call in.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up? Good morning, San Antonio. Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast. We are always, like always, broadcasting live from beautiful West San Antonio. Over here in Puro Marbach area, representing the 210. Glad that everybody's joining us today. We're going to do something a little different today, too. We're still waiting on Mike to come in. I wish I still had the Marbach cuz so I could put it up on here. But around 10:15 or so, we'll be joined by by Jeff Garcia. Oh, God, man. Look at Tony Ornelas is saying, I care about your show so much that I stopped watching Love is Blind season 7, episode 7, season 2. Season 7, episode 12, Alamo City Sportscast. Yeah, thanks for watching. Mike is fired. Will Joe cancel Jimenez now because he is late? Every time he's late, he's going to have to go fill that jar up, man, with some money. But what we're going to do, too, is we're going to have a call-in. So if y'all want to call in and shoot the shit, let's do it, man. There's the call-in number. If anybody wants to call in, there's a number. You can go ahead and call us. Talk to us. Tell us how bad Mike's take was yesterday as he was doubling down. And he was saying that, good that the NBA on TNT is going to be ending after this season. It's played out. His words, not mine. And when they called him out on it, he doubled down on his hot take. So if you want to call in and you have something to say to Mike, well, go ahead and call in. Or if you just want to talk with us and talk sports, whatever else, just let us know. We'll go ahead and take your call. And we'll bring you on the show. So, again, the number to call in is 830-391-9164. We had some news that was breaking yesterday that I saw here on the X as I was, scouring through social media to look for topics to talk about today. And we had to pour some out, man, for the great Fernando Valenzuela, man, of the LA Dodgers. Passed away last night, man. Sad news. He was a San Antonio Mission, brief stint that he had here playing for the San Antonio Missions. Baseball club here that we have in San Antonio. So he is a product of the San Antonio Missions, went on to fame and started all the hype back in the 80s, the Fernando Valenzuela hype. And he's going to go down as one of the greatest Mexican pitchers in baseball history. So pour some out, man, for the great Fernando Valenzuela. I believe the World Series is going to get underway as well today. So you got two teams going at it right now in the World Series, and I believe that's going to be the Yankees, which I do not like, and you also have Los Angeles Dodgers. Oh, that gets underway on Friday, October the 25th at 7:08. You got to go ahead and choose your team there. I got to go for the Dodgers, man. As I said, I'm not a Yankees fan, so hopefully the Dodgers can win the World Series. But guess who's coming back here in the studio? Just made an appearance right now. The one and only Michael Late Jimenez. Michael Late Jimenez. They said I should fire you for being late. That was Jeff. Jeff says, fire Mike for being late.
It's not late if I brought you breakfast, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Good morning.
We got to pour some out for the great Fernando Valenzuela, man.
Did he pass?
Passed away last night, man, and he was a product of the San Antonio Missions baseball club here. He had a brief stint here and went on to fame.
Yeah, Fernando Mania was really big in the early 80s. The Dodgers, like you said, he was a big old celebrity coming out of San Antonio, rookie of the year back in the early 80s with the Dodgers. Goes on, was a big part of the community over there at Chavez Ravine. He's revered all over Los Angeles, so that's sad, man.
Tex-Mex Frank, I put the call-in number if anybody wanted to call in. And Tex-Mex Frank says, I cannot call in. I speak Spanish too much for Mike. He's too ethnic.
It's too ethnic.
Yeah. Mike's going to be like, nah, we good. Thank you, Mike. That's funny, man.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever been to Chick-fil-A where they took forever to bring the food.
Look at Chris Gonzalez, $5 for every minute late. Dang,
man. What time did we start the show?
I started a couple minutes ago already.
Dude, can we talk about the embarrassment that the NBA was yesterday?
I don't know.
Or are we going to do that after Jeff?
We'll do that with Jeff. But, I was looking at it. I was looking at the games yesterday. And, I liked the moment that you had LeBron and Bronny on the court.
That was trash.
At the same time. Mm-hmm. It's full circle, man. As a dad, you see LeBron, and he's holding his son as a baby, right? When LeBron was, new into the league, still young. And now you see it come full circle where he's playing with his son on the court, and Fernandez said it as best, as a father, that's a good big moment for that family.
That's great and all, but Bronny's not an NBA player.
Bronny, he's in the NBA.
Bronny is an NBA player because his dad is LeBron James. Bronny could not start for UTSA. Bronny could not start for UTSA. He is not an NBA player. That was the biggest joke I've ever seen. And they had it out there with Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. Ken Griffey Jr. is an all-time great. Ken Griffey Sr. is an all-time great. Bronny James, his career in the NBA will be over the second his dad retires.
Well, he played a total of 3 minutes.
3 minutes, right? So. And you know what? Did not deserve to be out there. Name other players that were drafted number 50, some odd. They're going to be on the court this week.
Yeah, that's what it was. Look at Jesse. Take your son to work day.
It was a joke, man. It pissed me off. It pissed me off. It's nepotism at its worst, dude. That's exactly what it was. It was just complete nepotism. And it's like one of those things where Bronny does not, dude, everybody said that he's not talented enough to be in the NBA. Every single place said that he wasn't talented enough. Guy averaged 4 points per game in college. Guy's trash player. And I know he had health issues and whatnot. That was not a magical moment in Los Angeles. It was a fucking joke. It was a fucking joke.
$1.
Dude, I'm not going to pay $1 for that one. To watch that yesterday, that just shows the narcissism that has run amok in sports. LeBron James being the king of narcissists when it comes to it all. The NBA allowed him to do this. The NBA allowed him to maneuver his way to get his son on his team. The fact that the Lakers bent over backwards for this dude is stupid. That was not magical. That was not a great father-son moment. That was pure mierda last night. That was trash. It was garbage. It was shit.
You better watch out. You're getting so angry. The Mexicano side of you's coming out, dude.
Bronny could not start the racquetball and fitness gym. Chris Gonzalez. I love that, man. I love when we toss back to the past things I've said. It was bad, dude. It was bad. Yeah, Sam Salinas, Griffey Jr. made it on his own accord, not because of his dad. That's exactly it, man. Griffey Jr., all-time great.
LeBron runs the league is what he's saying.
Yeah.
JHNSB.
So again, hey, by the way, how is it that the Kansas City Chiefs can get trades done, but the Cowboys can't?
Because they don't want to, man. It just boils down to Jerry. I told you this before. Jerry does not care about winning. Because if he did, you would think that at some point in the last 28 years or so, he would put together a team that can actually make it to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
He don't give a damn about winning. The only thing he cares about is making money off the most loyal fan base in the NFL, and that is the Dallas Cowboy fan base.
You're telling me that he wouldn't have given up a 5th-round draft pick for DeAndre Hopkins?
Jerry,
which is what Kansas City did.
Jerry don't care.
Now, DeAndre Hopkins isn't, the DeAndre Hopkins of old, okay? So it's not going to be like one of those things where he's going to turn back the clock and be a stud. But last year, Hopkins had 1,057 yards receiving. He's not going to give you 1,500 yards, but he'll get you something. DeAndre Hopkins on the move, man. 32 years old, headed to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh God, dude. You're telling me here this comment I agree with. I can't stand listening to Reggie Miller. Every year he gets more and more obnoxious, dude.
Listen, beyond Reggie Miller, TNT's broadcasting. You know all the people crying about how TNT got thrown out of the mix and it's going to go to Amazon and all that stuff. Thank God, man. If I have to listen to another year of Charles Barkley, Shaq, and Kenny Smith, I want to jump off a building at that point because it is awful. It's the same joke over and over and over again. Their shtick is done.
You think so?
It's trash. It's like listening to Jim Rome. It is just the same thing, different year. And I know everyone's like, well, it's nostalgic. And Ernie Johnson does a fine job. Fine, whatever. I'm just tired of it, dude. There needs to be new blood.
You know who else was annoying besides Reggie Miller? It was Chris Webber, dude. That dude was so horrible, man. It's so boring.
They bring nothing to the table. There's no analysis. You can tell they don't even watch the games.
Oh, I like watching the NBA on TNT. I like watching it. I think it's entertaining. It's funny to me.
It got old. For me anyway.
Dude, just for you. But in my opinion, I still watch it. I still like it. I was watching yesterday and they were making fun of Shaq because he almost slipped and fell.
Wow.
And they were telling him.
Shaq slipped and fell. That's the same joke. By the way, he almost slipped and fell last year and the year before and the year before. And I know. I saw
they were on location, right? So they have that slippery stage and they told him, don't walk on that stage because it's all wet and slippery and whatnot. And his dumb ass went up there. I was hoping he would actually slip and fall and go into the crowd, dude. he left around and found out. He almost fell off.
Yeah,
that was funny to me.
No, dude, it was.
Bad here we go. Tired of Barkley talking about the gorditas in San Antonio.
Yeah, he's gonna come back to that because TNT is gonna have the Spurs game tomorrow night. The Spurs, not part of opening night, not even part of the second opening night. In fact, Spurs don't play until tomorrow. My dad was asking me the question yesterday. Hey, when do the Spurs play? I'm like, I don't know, Thursday.
Yeah. They play Thursday.
We're going to have Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs.
I'm going to call him right now.
This is the eve of the Spurs season getting going tonight. Several games in the NBA tonight. We got the Pacers and Pistons, the Nets and Hawks. We're all fans of the Nets today because, again, the Spurs have the Hawks unprotected first-round pick. You got the Magic and the Heat, Battle of Florida right there. You got the Bucks and Sixers. Sixers playing without Jimmy Butler, playing without Joel Embiid. Cavaliers and Raptors. Rockets and Hornets going at it. Bulls, Pelicans, Grizzlies, Jazz, Suns, Clippers, Warriors, Blazers. Basically, the entire NBA is getting going, and the Spurs don't get going until tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. TNT. Spurs at Mavericks. Mavericks favored by 7.5 points.
We do have Jeff Garcia on the line here, so I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. And, of course, we got to bring him in proper.
Bring it.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Comes the money
talk.
Here it comes.
Yeah, where is it? Where is it, Joe? There it is. Gotta get out of your system. Get it out of your system.
There we go.
Get it out of your system.
They said that's the best one. Mike ate my sandwich, man. He gives me a half-eaten sandwich. It takes the good one now. The hell? Anyway,
so Jeff, are you when you go to a breakfast for like a breakfast sandwich, Jeff? Okay, I know we've got like the people who like the taquerias, and I love the taquerias. I do it twice a week, right?
Yeah.
But when you're down for like some fast food breakfast,
is
it McDonald's? Is it Chick-fil-A? Is it Wendy's? What is it?
I don't want to tell you because then you'll be, oh, look, see, it's appropriate because it's money bags. So I'm gonna remain silent on this one.
We don't do that here, man. Come on, man. Give us an answer.
The one downtown, I go to Panaderia.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about fast food. Talk about.
Oh, it's pretty fast. Their breakfast delivery menu is pretty fast.
National chain.
National chain.
National chain.
What were they actually? McDonald's and what else?
So, for example, do you go get like an Egg McMuffin at McDonald's? Do you get a Whataburger, get a biscuit over there?
Actually, I go Bill Miller's.
There you go.
Yeah, Bill Miller's. I usually their biscuit and gravy is pretty good, and then obviously the breakfast tacos are pretty good. By the way, their salsa is actually pretty good. If you never tried their, get a pint of it, and it's really good.
Isn't that funny? That is hilarious. I've been saying that for the longest time. Also, their sauce is really good. I don't know what abuelita they have out there making it, but they do a good job.
You know what else is really good? Jeff's intro music, man. The fans just love your intro music. I'm being dead serious, Jeff.
Those dollars, you gonna play it again or what?
No, I'm just saying they like the intro music. They say that makes the show when you come on for your segment. Everybody really likes the intro music.
I like the comment that Mario Cavazos made. It says Jeff goes to Panera.
Oh Lord!
You know what? You know what? When I was living in New York City, I did, just because that was just a thing to do. Because there was one near me, and I was like, it's quick and easy, real fast.
So the NBA season got going yesterday, Jeff. We'll be talking about the Spurs in a moment, but last night we had 2 games going on. One was a blowout. We saw the Knicks get blown out by the Celtics 132-109. Then you had the evening game, which was bad basketball, man. That Lakers T-Wolves game was bad. Lakers got on a big run at the end of the second quarter. They went like on a 15-0 run. Didn't look back. Quote unquote, history was made at the 3:46 mark in the second quarter when Bronny James, who has no business being in the NBA, came onto the court. They played him for about 3 minutes. He had 1 rebound, missed both shots. The crowd gasped when he shot a 3-point attempt. Like, oh my God, he's going to make it. It's going to be a magical moment. And he bricked it, right? Because he's Bronny James. And Bronny James bricked shots. Were you embarrassed or excited about last night's ceremony, if you will, there in La La Land in LA?
I just wanted to see the train wreck. That's what I was interested in. I wanted to see him. Look, I get it. He's in the league. He's a pro. His basketball skills are probably light years ahead of mine. But you're right. He has no business in the NBA. You know why the Lakers didn't just send him to the G League at minimum. You know, would have been the better route. But I just wanted to see, one, if it was going to be a train wreck, and sure enough, it was, at least for 3 minutes. And 2, just to get it out of the system already, because I didn't want this to linger. Like 2 days in, 3 days, 4 games into the NBA season. Like, oh, is it tonight? Is the father and son going to take it over and be on the court? So I'm glad it's just over with. It's done with. Everybody can move on. But I'm not going to be surprised if Bronny is just not NBA worthy as the season moves on.
Look at Angel.
Hey, Jimenez, would you be surprised if, man, after the season they let him go and he goes overseas?
Well, his career is over when LeBron retires.
Yeah, look
he's
who's watching.
He's not an NBA player.
Look who's watching us.
Okay. Oh, Angel, what's going on, my man?
Angel Gutierrez, and I told him start the hashtag cancel Jimenez if you didn't agree with his NBA on TNT.
Oh, NBA.
Rant.
Okay, first of all, the NBA on TNT. TNT's coverage of the NBA sucks ass these days.
Oh, God.
It used to be really good, man. I'm tired of
go.
Ernie, Kenny, Shaq, and Charles. It's trash. We need new blood. It's one of those things.
It's not trash. It's not trash.
It's awful, dude. They spent 15 minutes on how Shaq almost slipped. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Let him hang himself. Okay, go ahead.
He's cooking himself, man.
It's bad, and people were responding. John Dyer was on my Twitter account yesterday, going, "This is actually something that he agrees with." I'm not the only one saying this. I think half the country that watches the NBA looks at TNT and goes, "Yeah, we're done with this. Move on. Evolve into something else." I mean, we're seeing that all over the sports landscape. The ESPN getting rid of Pardon the Interruption, getting rid of all of these different shows around the horn and all that stuff. They're getting rid of them because you need to have new blood. Can't be showing the same thing over and over again. We're watching Reggie Miller fumble his way through commentary. We're watching Chuck bring nothing to the table. We're seeing Shaq almost fall and be a jackass and a moron. It was just bad basketball being played. It was bad broadcasting. I like it on ESPN. I like it when it's on ABC. But it's on TNT, dude. It jumped the shark, man. Like Fonzie back in the day on Happy Days.
You know what, Jeff?
Yeah.
That reeks of overcooked bologna on a hot plate, dude. That's how bad that take was, man.
Jimenez, that show's only won how many Emmys? Joe, how many Emmys has that show won?
A ton.
Seriously, ton of them. I think they're doing something right, Jimenez.
That was a long, long time ago. Hasn't won anything recently.
You know what? They're going to get rid of the NBA on TNT. You know who's still going to be coaching the San Antonio Spurs?
Yeah.
Mike's favorite coach in the NBA. I love me some
Man.
Coach Pop, but Mike hates Coach Pop, dude. He don't love him at all.
Dude.
Man, Danny Green retired before Pop did. Think about that. Think about that.
Pop made the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame before he retired.
Yeah. Wasn't he supposed to go in when TD retired? Isn't that what he said?
That's what he said.
Look at what JHNSB says. Chick-fil-A spit in his food or something to make Mike grumpy.
You better check that, Mike. You better check that.
You better hope the people cooking the food don't watch the show. His hate for Coach Pop, man.
Dude, I don't have hate for Coach Pop.
You hate Coach Pop.
No, I hate that he's the coach of this team.
Man.
I don't hate Coach Pop, but I'll tell you what, man, I jumped off the Pop train a long time ago. I was one of the first ones who were like, hey, should this guy be gone? But the time that he took the microphone and said, quit booing Kawhi, that right there, height of narcissism. And it just showed that he's out of touch with just reality at this point. And it also shows that he has too much power in San Antonio with that organization.
Man, I remember being in the arena for that night. Just everybody was just stunned silence that night. Just it was like, what just happened?
Look at this. July the 26th says GTA 6 is going to come out before Coach Pop retires.
You know, right? The Dallas Cowboys are going to win a title before Pop retires.
Hey, Joe, Oasis broke up and then came back together 25 years later. Pop's still there.
Hey.
I always say that if there's a nuclear war, San Antonio would have two things that survived. One would be roaches. One would be Joe's volcano. The third thing now, Pop being the head coach of the Spurs.
NBA on TNT.
No, that one's dying. That one will soon become extinct.
You know what? I really believe that they're going to have that in some capacity. And it might not be on, TNT anymore, of course. But I think another outlet might pick that up and rebrand it. And,
Ernie Johnson's retiring.
It. Oh, I know he's going to retire. Charles Barkley seems like he's still up to go ahead and continue. I know it's going to probably keep on going in some capacity. I don't know if Shaq will be involved. I don't know if Kenny is going to be involved, but it seems like Charles wants to continue this.
Right.
But he might continue this with the new cast of people around it.
Hey, Joe, I was going to ask you, because we're talking about like NBA broadcasting right now. You know how you can watch games on HBO Max?
Yes.
Okay. What if it's a local game, like Spurs versus Thunder in San Antonio? Can you go to Max and watch local games?
You can't watch local games. You can only watch it's called RSNs, or Regional Sports Network coverage. You're going to be able to watch that on what is now FanDuel. It used to be Bally's. And if you have the Bally's Sports app that was downloaded on your phone, if you look for it, it's no longer there because it's been rebranded as FanDuel Sports Network, something like that. So that's the only way you're going to be able to watch local games. Of course, you're going to have a handful of games, as you well know, on Ken's 5. And, I think it's going to be also on the 29, like Fox 29 is going to carry some. I don't know if they're going to be on Fox 29. They're usually on the CW. So they're going to be on that 4.2 if you have the digital over-the-air antenna here. So, but it's only going to be just like maybe 10 games, something like that, 10, 12 games that they have, just broadcast for free. But they should do the same thing like the Mavericks are doing. They have one of the largest free streaming services now for the fan base, where you can be able to see a lot of the Mavs games for free. And they're kind of encroaching now on the San Antonio market, man. So
I saw that.
The Mavs, they ain't playing games, man. I think the Spurs need to follow suit and just
why can't the Spurs do the same, Joe?
They don't have no money here, man. They don't have the infrastructure in place yet to do that. And I don't think the Spurs are interested in, having their games broadcast for free. They're a money-making conglomerate, and they actually want to make money by selling the rights to, showcase the games, have the people pay to watch the games. I mean, remember back in the day, Jeff, when we used to have to pay to watch the marquee games back in the day, early
pay-per-view,
the 90s. Remember the 90s and 80s?
Yeah, pay-per-view.
How much was it? It was expensive. It was like $50, $60.
Is it $50 per pop? Yeah. Just for every single game. Yeah.
Like,
and I was listening more on the radio at that time. Remember Jay Howard?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So I mean, things have changed, man. It's a different animal now. But I mean, I don't think the Spurs will ever go ahead and just cut the cord completely and allow the games to be broadcast for free for the fans. They're gonna have to pay for the games in some capacity, and it makes it hard, especially if you're in the market. So if you're out of the market, past the blackouts,
Yeah.
you can get the NBA League Pass and whatnot and be able to watch the Spurs games. But if you're closer to, here in Texas, closer to San Antonio, it gets a bit harder for you because what if you can't afford to pay the 20 some odd dollars every month to watch, got to get creative then, and you have to go to those shady streaming services. Yeah.
Now
some VPN action.
Yep. You're going to have to get that VPN.
Now, speaking of the broadcasting, Toby has taken over for Bill Land. He did the preseason games. Jeff, what do you think, man? I think he's doing a pretty good job. What's your opinion?
I thought he does a pretty good job. I actually heard him last year already when he was broadcasting or announcing Austin Spurs games. So, it was just a familiar voice. Yeah, he's just bringing that same energy over from Austin, and not too bad. Still some big shoes to fill with Bill Land's retiring. But we'll see. We'll see what his catchphrase is going to be as the season moves on or his career goes on. But man, can you believe Spurs basketball's tomorrow night? That's
right. It is
rowdy.
It is tomorrow. And here's the thing, man. I'm looking at Yahoo Sports, and the Yahoo Sports has an article talking about their 36 bold predictions for the NBA season. Right. Kevin O'Connor, who formerly of The Athletic and formerly of the Ringers, now with Yahoo, he's the one who wrote this. He put down as one of his 36 major predictions for the year that a lot of them involve the Spurs, but he says Victor Wembanyama will win Defensive Player of the Year, be named to his first All-Star team, and also be named first team All-NBA. And he posted a prediction of his stats. He believes that Wemby is going to average 26 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 blocks. Can you imagine?
This is Wemby, though. Would you really be surprised?
I mean,
I would not.
26, 12, 6, and 4. That could arguably be the greatest season ever by a Spur of all time.
Yeah, but it's not surprising, though. And Wemby, you saw a little bit of that at the end of the season. Wemby year 2, that would be right on par for me. It wouldn't be surprising to me. I would.
Well, think about this too. Remember the Vegas futures with Wemby? Can he get a quad double? Will he get I'm making this up, like 10 triple doubles or 20 plus rebounds? And you go down that list of the futures of Wemby's, of the betting odds, you could be like, yeah, I can see it happening. Yep, I can see that happening. Yep, I can see that happening. So at this point in his career, nothing's going to shock me what he does.
Now,
look at this, Jeff. I got to show this comment from our friend Angel Gutierrez. Shout out to Angel because I went to high school with him. He puts, this is giving you fuel for the fire, Jeff. You better remember this one. We got to get the timestamp. Angel puts, did I actually see anti-Mexican Mike tuck a napkin into his shirt to eat Chick-fil-A?
Oh, no.
Jeff.
You did not do that, Jimenez, did you?
I did not do it. But you know what? You tell a lie many times, people will begin to believe it over time, man.
All right. I'm going to tweet it then.
I'm going to tweet it.
The Swiss is watching. Do your magic, brother. The Drew Show is giving us a $5 super.
So we're talking about
here.
the Spurs start of the season tomorrow. At Yahoo Sports coming out with their 36 bold predictions for 24-25. They have a prediction at number 16 that the Spurs will not have. That the Spurs might be competitive. Kevin O'Connor is saying that the Spurs might be competitive, and the Spurs starting point guard at the end of the season will not be on this roster as of right now. They're saying that Stephon Castle and Chris Paul will not be the point guard for the Spurs at the end of the season. That it won't even be Trey Jones, that the Spurs are going to trade for a point guard at the All-Star break. And Jeff, the name that they brought up is one that's expendable because of the roster over there. It says the Spurs will say yes to trading for De'Aaron Fox at some point in this season.
I thought he was going to say what's like the kid out of Cleveland, Garland. But no, I mean, think about it. There's Fox has ties to San Antonio. I think his girlfriend or wife is from San Antonio. Few All-Star games ago, he talked. I think it was when it was in Houston. He talked about how he would go to San Antonio to watch Spurs games, saw the Spurs in their dynasty era. So would not be surprised if Fox is wearing a silver and black jersey.
Yeah. Well, we do got the incoming.
Isn't he a free agent too, or something like that, or his contract's up?
Well,
his
the problem
contract's
is that
up.
they have too many players now over there. I mean, they got Devin Carter in the draft. DeMar DeRozan is now over there, which is weird. I mean, DeMar DeRozan playing for Sacramento.
Yeah,
It's going to be an interesting thing. But De'Aaron Fox is a very good player, just 26 years old. He's just the odd man out. I mean, that's just it. I'm looking at his contract right now. De'Aaron Fox signed a 4-year deal for $24 million per year. He's under contract for one more season after this, so he's through the 25-26 season.
Here's an incoming $5 super chat from the Drew Show.
Yeah, so he says, my thesis, according to the Drew Show, is that the CP3, Barnes, Castle, Vassell, and Keldon with Wemby year 2 is similar to D-Rob's rookie year when he had Cheeks, Cummings, Elliott, and Anderson. It's weird right now, man, Jeff. You start talking about Victor Wembanyama. Wemby is a player that could conceivably be, as Kevin O'Connor said from the Yahoo Sports, an all-NBA first-team player. He has the talent. He has the capabilities. If he starts knocking down threes, he becomes more comfortable with the game. We saw what he looked like in February, March, and April, right? He was good up until January. Then he became great after, say, February 15th, after the rodeo road trip. But that's not materializing in wins so far.
Yeah.
And you see David Robinson. When David Robinson came to the Spurs, David Robinson had veterans around him. It was a bad team, but Sean Elliott was starting at the same time back in '89.
You had Terry Cummings.
You had Terry Cummings. You had Mo Cheeks. You had was Larry Brown the coach at the time? I mean,
Larry Brown.
You had this
Willie Anderson.
You had this.
Yeah.
You had some stability there. When you had Duncan join the Spurs after being drafted in '97, you had David Robinson there. Sean Elliott was there. You had a lot of big names that were veterans, and Wemby didn't have that.
Yeah, and not only after that, when Tim Duncan came in soon after, the Spurs drafted who? Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. Then they had big shot Robert Horry joined. I mean, they had a good cast of characters. Steve Kerr.
Yeah,
I mean, they had people that could shoot the ball.
And the Spurs,
Timmy had it easy when he came in as a rookie.
Well, it was a 50-win team that he joined.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And look, we got a $5 super chat again from the Drew Show. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you.
We do appreciate it.
He says, I can see a 15 to 20 game turnaround, even though he says Brown is better than old Pop. 89 to 90 team went 2-3 to start. Spurs will always get better later. He goes, spam Spurs peak after March.
Mm-hmm. They did the past 2 years. The past 2 years, even though they were 22-60 the past 2 years, their best months the last 2 years have been in the month of March, for some reason. Jeff, predictions for this upcoming season. I know we've gone back and forth about how we think the Spurs are going to be somewhere in the 30s when it comes to wins, right? Some 30 to 39, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough, right? But predictions when it comes to the players. When it comes to the starting lineup, do we even know what the starting lineup is for tomorrow?
I think we got an idea already based on preseason. Joe, help me out here. I think it's Wemby, obviously CP3, Campani, Sohan, and who am I missing?
Barnes.
There, thank you.
So it's gonna be a big lineup, right? Because that's just one guard.
Yeah, well, think about this. They started last season with a big lineup too. I remember that was Sohan at point guard. So they're trying a big lineup again.
Yeah,
well, I don't know.
That worked out very well.
I think they're going to start Sohan, man. Actually, Sohan will probably be in the starting lineup. Yeah.
He should start.
Yeah, he'll start. Yeah, he's definitely going to start. Yeah, and then, but we think about this when Devin gets back. You think their bench that second unit is going to be pretty good because then you'll have Keldon, Champagny, Trey Jones. Blake Wesley, who looks like he's taking a step in his development in the preseason. You got Mamu coming off the bench who's knocking down threes. I mentioned Castle. They might have a potent second unit.
Yeah, I like the second unit. There's not that big of a drop
balance
off
there.
It is balance. I mean, you might have some games out there where Keldon, Trey, Castle go off better than the starting lineup. I mean, it's very very possible.
I can see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Keldon Johnson has had himself a pretty good offseason. He's thinner. I'm excited to see Keldon Johnson, what he can do for this team. The guy is just a pro, man. He's a pro's pro. He's a good player. I'm excited to see what Keldon Johnson brings. Obviously, my son, Stephon Castle, I'm excited to be what he's going to bring to the table because I think he should be starting already. I mean, just throw him into the fire. The Spurs did that with Sohan, right? The days of, we send them to Austin, we're done with the day that we started Sohan 54 games his rookie campaign.
You know what? I agree here with this comment coming in right now with Tavares. Why do Spurs fans overrate Vassell? And it's not like Vassell's, overrated in my opinion. I think he's arguably the second best player on the team.
Did you say overrate?
He's saying they're overrating.
Overrating.
Tavares says they overrate the players basically. In Vassell, as Vassell to me, in my opinion, he's the second best player next to Wemby. But Spurs fans do this. They overrate the cast that they have around Wemby. They think that they are actually better than their record will indicate. And I'm going to tell you again, because I got this from you. You're only as good as your record says you are. And I think the Spurs are going to fare better than they did last year, but it's still, to me, going to be in the 35 to 38 win column. And Spurs fans have gone on record already and said that they're fine with that. So they're saying that they're okay with mediocrity.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about this too, guys. I mean, let's just say the Spurs do jump to 35, 38. That's still a significant jump, all things considered.
But it's not playoffs.
No, but
it's not
playoffs.
It's where they were 3 years ago without Wemby. 3 years ago with DeMar DeRozan and DeJounte Murray, they were at 35 wins. So to bottom out and be back to where you were is not good enough, man. It's just not. The Spurs have to be 500 or better because if not, then the people who are running the team are not doing their job.
Well, it also doesn't help too. Just look at the West. I mean, my goodness.
Stacked.
Well,
goodness.
Well, why aren't we stacked? We talk about this with the Cowboys, right?
Hey, the Thunder needed time to get stacked. The Mavericks needed time to get stacked. Now it's the Spurs time to get stacked.
Oh, Oklahoma City's been good for a while, man.
They've been stacking over the years.
Man, the chat has me cracking up, dude. Y'all are wild today, man.
Why? What's going on?
Good for an angel. He puts Mike lost his virginity at Joe's volcano.
No, I think it was Park Place.
Man,
Jeff.
What'd you say?
The way you said it, Jeff. Oh,
disgusting.
Yeah, cochino.
Now, what was the Cochino Club back in the day?
Dude, there was a bunch
It was
of
it was a Club Piranha. That's what it was.
Well, the Sucias hung out, dude.
It was
Piranha was
polyesters on the Riverwalk.
Hey, that's where you got roofied, right? Tall Tale?
No, yeah, I got roofied at polyesters, dude.
Yeah, I heard another tall tale. Apparently, you played football with Moose Johnson.
Moose Johnson.
I did.
They called him. What was your nickname? Moosey?
Moosey. No, I didn't play with him. He was the coach.
God,
he was the coach of my media team that one time at Cowboy Camp. He picked me.
Whatever.
He picked me. He goes, I'll take that guy, I'll take that guy, I'll take that guy. And I had a pick six, took it 50 yards to the house. Touchdown, baby.
We got to hang out with the Angel, dude, and his girl, man. I haven't seen Angel in a long time. And
yeah, I usually hang out with Angel at Spurs games for like halftime.
Yeah. Oh, really? Nice.
I haven't seen him in quite some time. We need to get together, Mike.
Yeah,
we need to make it happen, man.
Let's make it happen. Spurs get going tomorrow night. It's a 6:30 tip-off. It's going to be on TNT. Going to be out in Dallas. The Mavericks are by 7.5 points. You know, when Stephon Castle got drafted by the Spurs, he said the first thing he wanted to do was take on.
Yep, he did say that.
Luka Doncic. He's going to get an opportunity tomorrow at some point to be in front of Luka Doncic. How do you think he'll fare, or do you think he's just going to get blown away the first time he's on the court?
He's going to get that welcome to the NBA sign. But look, I mean, Luka just destroys everybody. It doesn't matter if you're Castle or Sohan or one of the better defenders in the league. Luka will be Luka. You know, Luka averages, we'll see if this changes, a near triple-double in his career versus the Spurs.
I don't doubt it. He had that one time where he got clamped down by Sohan.
Yeah.
And we all thought it happened one time. Like Johnny Dangerously back in the day. It happened once.
But then Luka didn't still have like crazy numbers, something like that.
He did. But it wasn't like numbers that he usually puts up against other teams, So
He took a lot of shots too.
he did, and Jeremy did lock him down that game. But then after that, that's all she wrote, man. After that, it's just been disaster. But what do you think, Jeff? I mean, the Spurs. How do you think they're going to come out the gate this season? Spurs fans have high expectations. We're on the eve of Spurs basketball once again. The Spurs fans, they want a little bit of excitement. They want to go ahead and see the team be a lot better than they were last year. They want some success early on.
Well, for me, I'm tempering expectations because look how they start their season.
A little slow.
It's Dallas tomorrow, Houston, then the Thunder. There's a chance this team could maybe get a win against one of the Houston games. I mean, think about it. You got Dallas, Houston, and Houston's ahead of their curve. Then you got OKC on the road.
I don't like this at all, man. I don't like these excuses at all, Jeff. You're right. First of all, you're accurate when it comes to it. But that's the whole thing about the expectations of the Spurs, that the Spurs don't have expectations. And that's the bad thing.
No, I think they have expectations.
Dude, if the expectation is them winning 34 games, dude, I mean, then the team is being mismanaged at that point.
What are they going to do, man? And they come out the gate, they're going to go ahead and win one, drop three, win another, drop two. That's the way it's going to be.
But Joe, look at the first 4 games.
Oh, I know. I've seen the schedule.
Yeah,
man. It's
a little tough. Yeah, it's a little tough.
But I think the Spurs are going to surprise some people. I think they're going to be a little better coming out of the gate than expected.
Yeah, of course. I think they're going to be they're going to be better. Yes, they're going to be competitive,
but they're not going to win. Let's be honest,
I mean, nobody's going to be surprised if they lose to Dallas.
I mean, look at how many games are they going to be playing against the Rockets, bro? Like, come on, man. It's like
2
back-to-back games against the Rockets. Rockets, as currently constructed, are better than the Spurs. No lies.
The Rockets don't have Wemby. That is the thing about it all. Wemby is going to be a top 10 player in this league, and we have him. And we're going to sit here and just be like, oh, it's okay for the Spurs to win 32 games. It's okay for Pop to not play certain players and have weird rotations and have Sohan at point guard. It's okay for us to meander our way through. I bring this up all the time, Jeff. Everyone talks about, well, Duncan stay here forever. Duncan wanted out of San Antonio after 3 seasons.
Almost signed with the Magic.
Signed with the Magic. He was done with San Antonio. He was done with Pop. And we make it sound like every phenom player, from David Robinson to Tim Duncan to all of these, that they're all the same. They're not.
David was almost traded too.
Almost, yep.
Yeah, David was almost traded as well.
The Lakers wanted him big time.
And how come nobody
the Knicks wanted him too.
Yeah. How come nobody talks about Doc Rivers, dude? He fumbled the bag big time.
Big time.
He looked Tim Duncan right in the face.
I thought that was just a rumor.
He was dead serious. Tim Duncan asked him, "Hey, can my wife come, with us? And can she be on the plane with us?" And Doc Rivers looked at him and he's like, "No,
we're good."
I'm like, "Bro, you say yes." And that was the nail in the coffin.
Here's a what if. What if Duncan did leave to Orlando? Will the Spurs still be called the San Antonio Spurs?
No,
I don't think so either.
We'd be the Seattle Sonics.
Yeah, they'd be going. Yeah. They'd be gone.
See, and that's the thing, man. And I just, people gave me crap about this last year, Joe. They're like, well, this is what Wemby says. And I always talk about the fact that whenever an athlete says something to anybody in the media, they're not telling their truth. They're either they're doing PR work when they talk to the media. We don't know Wemby's feelings about anything. Even if he does say it to you, Jeff, we don't know what he thinks.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard said he wanted to be a Spur for life.
Exactly. They say what they want to say because it's a great soundbite. It's good for PR, and it gets them through the day. It gets them through that interview.
DeJounte Murray, he said he wanted to be here. And then he went in the office and he told Coach Pop, I want to be traded.
Right. So that's why I'm like, whenever I hear Spurs fans, especially on Spurs Twitter, like, well, this is what Wemby said on that interview with that French TV station. I don't care. I think he's telling the truth. At the end of the day, back in 1999, Tim Duncan wanted out of this town, wanted out of this franchise, wanted away from Pop. That happened. It's certifiable fact. So for us to be so that's why I get pissed off about the whole Wemby thing, because it's like, well, they haven't. Look at the West has gotten better. Well, then why haven't we? Dude, it's like we have Jerry Jones running our team right now, man.
Man, I got to tell you one thing, man. Besides listening to Mike's bad takes, this Diet Dr. B here is different, man. That's all I got to say. It's one of my favorites, man. Mike, he says it's all right. I don't like it too much. He's going to the fridge to get another one.
Every time I think of Dr. B, I think of my grandma. That's all she has in her fridge. Is just Dr. B.
People say, I don't like that generic cola, man. That HEB cola's top tier, bro. Y'all sleeping on that Diet Dr. B.
Now, is it better than the Walmart generic one?
Man. Yeah, definitely, dude. What is it? It's Member's Choice.
Member's
What the hell
Choice.
is that, dude?
Oh, my
What
God.
the hell is that, right? If you're going to go to a barbecue, Jeff, do you go and you bring the cheap soda, man? Get the hell out of here, dude. Don't bring no Hill Country Fare, bro. Come on.
Mm-mm.
But would you be okay with the Diet Dr. B
Oh,
in
man,
a party?
I wouldn't even bring that for everybody. I just have that in my little ice chest for me. F them, dude. They all don't deserve no Diet Dr. B. I'll bring you all some Coca-Cola or Pepsi, whatever you all want. I don't bring the cheap stuff, but this is for me.
Yeah, Tavares is reminding me right now with his comment right there about what John Dyer said on our show a while back when he was one of our guests, talking about how he's saying that Brian Wright's holding the team back because it's all about the draft picks, it's all about the draft capital. And John Dyer, a good friend of our show, was on a while back saying, the problem with that is that you're selling hope. And that's job security right there. When you're selling hope, when you're saying, well, I got all these picks, haven't done anything with them. Wait till you see what I do with these picks. Well, the last time I saw him with 3 first-round draft picks, he got Jeremy Sohan, Malachi Branham, and Blake Wesley in the same year. And I'm going to tell you this much. Malachi Branham and Blake Wesley will not be on this team next year. First-round draft picks.
What about the Primo pick?
Oh, Josh Primo. I mean, that was great. Lucas Amanich. Right? He was
Luka was on Buford's watch.
But he was the assistant GM. He was the assistant.
Still the buck stopped with RC that year.
But true, but you can't tell me that Brian Wright didn't scout the guy.
Jeff,
he wasn't part of the
with RC.
wasn't part of the meeting.
Look at Jimenez trying to angle a way to fit that argument.
Man. Jeff, the chat has given us gold, brother.
What do we got?
We got something for today. Neither you can do it or I can do it. If you want to, be my guest.
What am I looking at?
I'm looking at the chat. We need to go ahead and look at this right here because they're onto something. And we can put, I don't hate Mike. I just hate blank, blank, blank. Fill in the blank. I like that, dude. Can you imagine what everybody's going to say? It's contest, bro. Exactly.
Yeah, make it a contest.
Yeah, that's a good
So the
idea.
contest is what do people hate about me? I like it.
I don't know. It says, I don't hate Mike. I hate blank, blank, blank. That's maybe the things that you say or something else. I like it, man. I like it.
There's something that's looming that I don't think we're talking enough about is Wemby is probably going to go through one of the biggest changes in his NBA career, and that's coaching change. Pop ain't going to be around for his. I hope we'll see, but Pop ain't going to be around for Wemby's entire NBA career till retirement. So imagine that change. How's that going to impact him and the franchise?
Talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5, who posted yesterday on Twitter a bad selfie that he had with Billy Zabka and Ralph Macchio.
Man. Nice. Screwed that up.
How did you screw that one up? And can we find that?
Instead of doing a cross, like horizontal, I went portrait, like straight up. And and then they cut me off.
I mean, you should have had your girl. You should have had your girl take the picture.
You went portrait. Look, I have the photo right here on my screen here. It's about 70% Ralph Macchio, 25% Billy Zabka, and about 3% Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs.
Who is that? I can't see the rest.
That is funny. Hey, can you hear audio from my screen?
Yeah, we should be able to hear the audio.
Jeff on Twitter yesterday posted on there that the one former U.S. president who knows ball, Barack Obama, talking about players that he likes to watch. Jeff, can you set this up a little bit? You were talking about
yes, sir.
Obama talking about the beautiful game and whatnot.
Yeah. He was a guest on, I guess, the rebranded JJ Redick show. You know, Redick's now a coach now, so it's now called The Young Man and the Three. I think it's called that.
Yeah, The Young Man and the Three.
Yeah, and their first guest was
The Pacers
former
are playing
president. Yeah, the first guest was the previous president, Obama, and they're just just shooting the about the NBA, and Obama just threw out there that the two teams that he'd like to watch in the last decade were the 2014 Spurs beautiful game team and then the Warriors, and then he went further on to say how he cannot stop watching Wemby play, that he has to watch Wemby play, and even compared him to greats like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Kevin Durant. So yeah, it's really good right now. I have it on Ken'sFire.com. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Let's
check it out.
Let's hear what the 44th president had to say about the beautiful game.
Pacers are playing.
Are you only saying that because I'm in front of you?
This was Halliburton,
but also because you guys play with pace and you move the ball around. And look, I if you ask me the teams I enjoyed watching most over the last decade, it's the Warriors, and before that, it was the Spurs. I just like that style of basketball, right? The beautiful game and the ball's popping and nobody's just backing up and dribbling the whole time. And you guys are playing that style of ball.
There you
so
go.
Talking about President Obama talking about the beautiful game. He called it the beautiful game, Jeff. He called it by our name.
Yep.
He didn't just say the 2013, 2014 Spurs. He said the beautiful game.
Well, think about it. The beautiful game inspired other teams to try to do the beautiful game. So, kudos to the Spurs. I mean, I think I looked at some numbers. The Spurs were 62 wins that year, and they went 16-7 in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just I go back. For you kids out there who've never seen the Spurs in that title run, go and look at some of the old footage on YouTube. You're going to be like, wow, basketball can be so simple. I mean, just pass, shot. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, you retweeted Kenny Shaq Charles was so played out, not entertaining anymore. No wonder I woke up to some notifications on Twitter.
Oh no, we all both saw and say, look, all the comments were, look, he's doubling down. It's like, man, you're cooking yourself, Mike.
Yeah, Mike. Do you realize you do it to yourself, Mike?
Ah, dude. You know what? I just say what people are thinking. They just don't want to say it. They're afraid.
No, I don't think people are thinking that. Well, most people aren't thinking that Shaq and them are all played out already.
Talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. The Spurs season gets going. Regular season gets going tomorrow. No Devin Vassell. Devin Vassell has a foot injury that he had surgery on, did not heal properly. Going to be reevaluated on November 1st. Devin Vassell is somebody who's missed a lot of time. I know earlier in the show, Joe Garcia was saying that he believes that Vassell is the second best Spur player. You can make that argument. Averages 19 points per game, 36% career three-point shooter. Very good, solid player. But, man, there's something about that injury bug when it comes to him. And the Spurs have that with him. They have that with Chris Paul. Chris Paul is somebody who misses 20 to 25, 30 games a lot anyway. So I'm just taking a look at the Spurs roster right now. I'm just thinking to myself, what's the most number of wins that we're going to eke out of here? Can Wemby be so great to carry this team to 41 wins? Can he be so great? And maybe, just maybe, Joe and Jeff, it has nothing to do with who we have from Harrison Barnes. Maybe it has nothing to do with Sohan. Maybe it has a lot to do with Mamu. We saw that last year, Jeff. We saw Mamu and Wemby gel together. If you had to predict how many minutes Mamu's going to get tomorrow, he's going to get 10, 12 minutes, or do you think he might get that 20-minute run?
I think it'd be a shade under 20. I think I get him at 16, 17. I mean, just because he's been hitting that three ball so well in the preseason. If he can keep that up, then kudos.
I like Stefan Castle, what he's had to say, and one of the things that Chris Paul was saying, I saw an excerpt running on the X, is Stefan Castle was actually saying that he could care less about making friends. He's just here to ball, and I like that because he don't care about hanging out. He don't care about the perception. He just wants to go out there and win. I like this kid a lot, man. He's got some dog in him, and he has that high energy when he's on the court. He's getting after it. every minute that he's out there. He's either playing hard on the offensive end, playing hard on the defensive end. He's just after it, man. And it's like he's infectious because he gets the team to play better, I believe, defensively more better than even Jeremy Sohan does.
Mhm.
I mean, the kid is after it. So I look forward to seeing Stephon Castle and his development and seeing what he can do with this San Antonio Spurs team. The kid's the truth, man. I think he's going to be in the running for Rookie of the Year.
And
you know who's getting lost in all the shuffle? Sissoko.
Oh, yeah.
Like nobody's talking about him.
Don't get
Popovich
minutes.
has been going about him in the preseason, saying, I think he said it something during one post game session how he wants Sissoko to stick around. So
CD, got drafted in the second round last year. CD is somebody who a lot of mock drafts had him projected as the end of the first round kind of guy.
Yeah.
He is a defensive marvel. He's an athletic freak. He got the time that he needed in Austin. He really did. The question becomes, though, is Sidy Cissoko that talent that everyone just missed out on, and the Spurs just got him in the second round, and he's going to be a good role player, a good rotation kind of guy. He plays defense pretty well. He's very athletic. What is he missing, Jeff?
Minutes.
Well,
minutes. And there's that. And then I think I'm just like every other Spur on the freaking roster right now. Just that shot, man. That shot. Popovich did kind of give a glimpse into what is holding back Sissoko. He talked about maturity. So there's that. So I think there's, I don't know if we meant physically or mentally or just emotionally, but, whatever it is, it's Pop went to maturity. And, I think it's minutes and just knocking down that shot.
But the thing is, Jeff, is City is so good as Coach Pop is, going out there and telling the media.
Yeah.
Why isn't he giving the kid run? At the end of the day,
yeah.
if he's that good, why
There's
isn't he
guys
getting
ahead
run?
of him? There's Barnes ahead of him. There's Sohan ahead of him. There's Vassell ahead of him.
What does that tell you? That Coach Pop is saying that while City is great, the other guys are better?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's like City is going to be delegated, in my opinion, to maybe getting some garbage time minutes, even though Coach Pop says he's as good as, he says he is. Unfortunately, Coach Pop is saying that the other guys that are out there garnering those minutes away from him are better than him, even though he's singing his praises, So I would like to see City a little bit more. I don't think we've really seen a lot of him, very small sample sizes. But the kid just needs to stay ready because anything can happen, right, Jeff? In an 82-game season, somebody gets injured, and your number gets called, right?
And think about this too, Jimenez. Even guys in the G League could possibly leap him. There's Minix,
yeah.
Yeah, there's Harrison Ingram, who has a way better shot than Sissoko. So keep that in mind.
So JHNSB reaches out and says, Spurs hate three-point shooters. Let's play in the paint through Jeremy Sohan. Fire emoji. Now, the one player that the Spurs apparently give a lot of run to and apparently is a good three-point shooter, but I'm not a big fan of, Jeff, but he did have a good preseason. Got to ask you the question, is he the truth or not? Julian Champagny.
Ooh.
Is he a wild card? Is he a wild card this year?
Oh, for sure, yeah, because the Spurs lack a consistent perimeter threat. He could be it. And, sure, it's a preseason. I'm not taking away anything from Julian. He's put in the work. He and I spoke last season about his time even using the Spurs technology in the practice facility to help him improve his shot. So we've had conversations about his shooting. But you got to look at that preseason. Okay, well, the opposing teams were putting out their heavy hitters. The opposing teams didn't do X and Y. There are a bunch of G leaguers out there vying for a spot. So we'll see if he does that. And what better way to do that versus Dallas tomorrow night? If he just comes out, shoots the lights out, then perfect. Keep it going. So consistency is going to be his thing too. And I was thinking about this too. Like last night, Boston just 3-bombed New York to oblivion. What was that? 29 threes made.
And then they went bricked the rest of the game.
Yeah. Because they bricked the rest of the game. But tomorrow night, the Spurs take on Dallas with Klay Thompson in a massive shooting slump. Imagine his breakout game. He snaps out of it against the Spurs.
You know what? Speaking of shooting slumps here, and somebody who might be the second coming of Matt Bonner. How are you feeling about Riley Minix as one of our listeners here? You know him as well, Sith Lord Elias. He put, ask Jeff how he feels about Minix, Matt Bonner 2.0.
Yeah. No, I think Sith got it right. He's Matt Bonner 2.0. I lean toward maybe Doug McDermott. But yeah, he's gonna be a good guy. You know, although he's a rookie, but he's an older person. Like, he's an older man. So he's not like a teenager. I think he's in close to his mid-20s, I think, or not, 22, 23 around there. But so he's matured and his body's filled out. He's making shots. It was funny story I'll tell you from Media Row this past preseason. So Minix is walking to the scorer's table to check into the game. And sitting next to me is Raul Dominguez of the AP Sports. He looks at me and he goes, hey, watch. Minix's first catch, first touch, first shot. It's going to be a 3-shot. It's going to go in. So Minix checks in. First shot, first touch, all that good stuff makes it 3. I mean, that's how good this guy is when it comes to and confidence he has from the 3 line. And that's going to go well for the Spurs because they need perimeter threat. They don't have that many on the roster, and he could be another one. But he's going to cook in Austin for now, so we'll see if he does enough.
You know, they do. They do have Jeremy Sohan. You know, can shoot the 3 ball. So can Booty Crumbs Collins.
Don't get Jimenez started. Don't get Jimenez started.
Oh Lord, he's gonna tell you. Well, let me bust out the effective field goal shooting percentage.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jimenez. Get it out of your system. Get it out of your system, Jimenez.
None of that matters, right? None of that matters.
Get it out of your system, Jimenez. Go ahead.
Well, what do you want me to say? That shooting efficiency matters in sports.
Oh my God.
That
are you recording all this, Joe? You're recording all this to clip it out later?
Yep, recording the whole thing. Giving you more fuel for the fire, Jeff.
Exactly. Yep. Just sit back and let Jimenez do what he has to do. Then we'll get him later.
They'll get him later. The fans always wind up finding the clips, dude. I'm over here busy at work, and then I'm trying to go ahead and put the show up so everybody can watch the replay. And before I even do that, sometimes they're getting the clips on their phone and already put it on the X. Look what Mike said, and I'm like, oh man.
$5 super chat coming in from the Drew Show. Thank you so much for the dedication and for the support, Drew.
Hey, real quick, Joe. Real quick, I lost track of time. I got to go. I got to get ready for a Lockdown Spurs coming up soon. Yeah.
All right. Well, don't forget to follow Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Play, all of that stuff. Jeff Garcia, thank you so much for being on today, man.
All right. Yes, sir. Y'all be careful.
Thanks, Jeff. Bye.
Drew Show coming out saying City is an F- shooter. Doesn't matter if he's B+ everywhere else. Minix has more utility in a modern NBA. Pop praising City kind of proves that Pop is washed. Pop has been washed since 2019.
Here we go. You're gonna double down on that.
Pop is washed, dude.
No,
I don't know what else to say, but do you know who isn't washed? Who's still at the peak of their game? That would be our good friends at MCS General Contracting.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Got that Diamond Hard concrete, baby. Diamond Hard. Basketball courts, pickleball courts, slabs, parking lots, ramps, be ADA compliant. Reach out to our friends over at MCS General Contracting. Hey, this is a sports/entertainment story. Did you know that Malcolm in the Middle star? Remember that show, Malcolm in the Middle?
I remember that show from back in the day.
Remember Frankie Muniz?
Yeah.
You know, who's the main character of that show?
He's been a race car driver for the last couple of years, man.
He is now officially a full-time NASCAR Truck Series racer for the year 2025. He will drive the number 33 Ford for the Rome Brothers Racing, the team announced today. Muniz says that this is a dream come true. That, he was on a TV show, was very popular, made money, but it's a dream come true to be part of the NASCAR series. Frankie Muniz is 38 years old. He competed in 4 races last year, 2 Xfinity Series races and 2 truck races in 2024. He's going to be racing this weekend in Miami. Congratulations to Frankie Muniz. Dude, there's something about actors who like to race cars, man. Some do it well, man. I mean, I'm not talking street racing. I'm not talking about what happened with Paul Walker and his financial advisor back in the day. But I'm talking about those who actually like to take it to the oval or the street track. There's a lot of actors who like doing that, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, look at that. Another $5 super chat coming in from the Drew Show, man. He on fire today, dude.
He says, I get the gimmick. Is let's cook Mike for this and that. You are looking bad for real for downplaying Pop's aversion to shooters in the modern NBA. So and Drew, that's an interesting point, man, because think about how efficient the beautiful game was in 2014 and how efficient that team was in 2013. And Pop was like, you know what we're gonna do? The opposite. We're going to go and pound it into LaMarcus. We're going to pound it into DeMar DeRozan with his 15-foot jumper. They did the opposite of what was winning. Nothing has changed, Joe. We talk about the evolution of basketball, right? From the grounded pound and then, you know, of the 70s and all the bully ball, the 80s and Showtime and all that stuff. Do you know what has changed since 2014? Not a damn thing. The Spurs perfected the beautiful game. The Warriors did the same thing, right? What do you think the Celtics are doing? The beautiful game. It hasn't changed. There hasn't been an evolution to anything bigger and better ever since then. The Spurs got to the peak, and then Pop just turned around and went, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get players who don't know how to do any of that. That's the weird thing. Yeah. He didn't need to evolve anymore. He had gotten the team and basketball to where it needed to be, and then he went against his own style that he created. They got emulated by Golden State.
Yeah, we also had a comment here from, I believe it was Tony Ornelas. He had went ahead and sent us a little message here via Facebook, and I went ahead and opened it up. Thank you, Tony, for that. I appreciate you, man. And he put, you know, this is the Spurs starting lineup, right?
Right.
This is what's projected. And it's Chris Paul, Julian Champagnie, Harrison Barnes, Jeremy Sohan, and Victor Wembanyama. For all intents and purposes. That's more than likely who we're going to see out there, you know. And I know how Spurs fans are feeling right now about some Harrison Barnes. They don't really care for the guy. And the thing is like he's a good veteran player, and I don't think he's gotten used to the Spurs style of basketball yet. He's still trying to find his way here on the team. Yeah,
I mean, he knows his role, but it's just one of those things. It's a different starting. It's different than being point guard. Right, point guard, you run the offense and you are dictating what goes on. So Chris Paul can go in there and immerse himself into the offense because the offense runs through him. That's easy.
Yeah.
But when you're a small forward, you're trying to figure out, okay, where am I on here? What's my role? What's my duty? What do I do on defense? You're learning the team defense. It's different, man. It's like giving a quarterback a different offensive coordinator or quarterback coach.
Yeah, JHNSB says, Matt wants to call in. It's like, I just texted him right now. I told him to give me a call.
Yeah.
Matt's got my number. Me and Matt talk.
Let's make it happen, baby.
Yeah. You know, I need to find a better system in place here so we can go ahead and get the call-ins to come in, because for some reason they don't come in on my phone, and I don't know what's going on with this phone. I think I might need an upgrade here. Get me the latest Samsung Galaxy they have coming out. I have the older one from like 2 years ago, and I'm due for an upgrade already coming in March. Usually every March is when I get an upgrade. All right. Got Matt calling.
Did you know that yesterday the Celtics broke a record for the most three-pointers made in a game, Joe? 29. They shot 29 of 48 from three yesterday. It's over 60%. What kind of effective field goal shooting was Boston doing yesterday if they knocked down 29 of 48?
They're just chunking them up from beyond the arc,
Dude, chunking them up and making them, baby.
Yeah.
Derek White being part of that mix.
Well, we do have our first call in here of the show, and that's the one and only Matt Lerma, and he's going to be doing a recap here of some Cowboy games with our good friends at the Elias. It's called Two Fools, One Recap. What's up, Matt?
What's going on, Matt? How you been?
What's good? What's good? Yeah, we're going to do it right after the Cowboys game. It's going to be a Spurs and Cowboys recap. So,
hey, Matt, congratulations not only on the podcast and the spaces that you're doing. We're going to be sponsoring spaces as well. But also congratulations on all that you're doing with your health and whatnot.
The weight loss. Yeah,
How much have you lost so far?
Last time I checked, I've lost 117 pounds.
That is amazing.
Man.
I'm excited for losing 25, but man, 117, that is no joke.
Yeah.
Dude, congratulations on all that.
Big accomplishment.
Have your vitals. I mean, I don't know. I mean, not any of my business or whatnot, but I know I've lost 25, and I went to the doctor yesterday. They took my blood pressure. I was so happy. It was 127/78. I was like, oh my God. I was hypertensive for so long. When I got knocked out, when I got laid off of the radio station, Joe,
Yeah.
I was having issues with anxiety because of the radio station.
Oh, I believe it, dude, because they expect so much for you, and you have to stick to or adhere to a very strict schedule.
Yeah,
of what they want you to do. Do this, do this, do that,
and it's not like free flowing like this is relaxing. I came over here and /ate a sandwich for crying out loud while doing this.
I was talking with Jeff,
but my blood pressure was 205/98.
Damn,
at one point. And they wanted to put me on all this medication. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to exercise and I'm just going to lose some weight. And my vitals are back down. Matt, are your vitals better? Is things looking better all around?
Yeah, I just went to the doctor on the 17th and they said I've lost 35% of my excess body weight. And I've reduced my chance of heart attack and stroke significantly. And I was pre-diabetic and all that. I'm not anymore. So everything's good. No, I just got to keep on the same track I'm on.
It's not a congratulations, because congratulations means you lucked into it. It is a great job because that means that you worked hard at it.
He's winning in life right now, man. Congratulations to you, man.
And he's a king right now of TikTok, man. Every time I go on TikTok, he's battling somebody.
He don't understand. He don't understand what these battles are, man. I try to explain to him, man. He don't get it, dude.
Oh man.
But
now, basically, TikTok lives are just another way for people to make money online, and the battles are a part of it. The people that support you can pay to give you more points than the other person, and that's basically all there is to.
Whoever that Evie is on TikTok, who's from San Antonio, she hot.
Oh yeah, she is. She's pretty good looking. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna let Matt roast me at this point. Okay, so he's calling in for a reason. We've buttered him up already. Okay, let me have it, man. What do you want to talk about when it comes to the Spurs?
I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of I guess it's deserved, but there's a lot of pessimism around the start of the season. I think we're gonna do better than a lot of people think. I mean, I don't know. I know that I say we're gonna be 10-0 in the first 10 games, but I mean, realistically, I think we have a decent shot of being 50% or even 6-4 in the first 10 games. And, I think that Wemby's taking a big step. I think that, the bench looks like they're playing great in the preseason games. When Wemby sat down, it looked like we didn't really miss a step. Devin seems good to go. We're just waiting on the doctor to sign off on the first. So we're going to be only missing Devin for the first couple games, and then he'll be in the mix. So I think we're going to be a lot better than a lot of people think. And, with all the Coach Pop stuff, I mean, you keep saying Tim wanted out and all this stuff, but context also matters. Popovich wasn't a coaching legend at that point. He was just an asshole who cursed at everybody. You know what I mean?
Look at how he treated Tony, right? When he came in the lead.
Yeah. So now he's a coaching legend. He's in the Hall of Fame. Any young player would want to be on Pop's team just to learn from him. And I just, we went through a rebuild. Last time you saw Brian Wright with 3 picks, he picked up Blake Wesley, Malachi Branham, and and Jeremy Sohan. Well, at the time, those were 3 good picks. We felt lucky to get Malachi at 20 because he was supposed to be a lottery pick. And so things haven't really shaked out. This is a make or break season for both Blake and Branham and all that stuff. But, I just think that we got to just realize that it's a rebuild and that losing seasons are a part of it. To go from 22 wins to 38 wins, it isn't accepting mediocrity. It's just wanting to see improvement and getting better. And for the record, when you put that poll out, I voted for play-in because, I think that Wemby is good enough to where we should get him to the play-in.
Okay,
but,
I want to stop you right there. Okay, I appreciate you saying that, man, because that's a good pivot point for us here. I had a poll out, and we had more than 250 people who responded to the poll, asking the questions: what should be the Spurs' expectations of acceptable number of wins? And you said that you're one of the 16% that said play in or better. That's where I'm at. I'm actually at 41 wins. Okay, if you don't make it, but you go 43 and 39, I'm okay. Right? Play in is going to be around 46 wins. Vegas is saying around 44, but last year was 46. If you're in that range right there, I'm feeling better as a Spurs fan because we have a generational talent in Victor Wembanyama, because we have a phenom, right? And that's what you need to build around. And part of me is gets upset because I think to myself, had Wemby been drafted by any other team in the NBA, would they have forced him to play with the youngest team ever, or not the youngest team in the league? Right, because last year the Spurs were the youngest team in the league. They're not going to be this year. Oklahoma City was the second youngest team. But I think about it, had Denver drafted him, had Atlanta, had Washington, had whomever had drafted Victor Wembanyama, would they have done that to him? Because I think we're the only team that would have done it. And it's just so bizarre. We're the only team in the NBA who would have even thought about putting Sohan in at point guard. We're the only team in the NBA that would have started Julian Champagnie. I think that there's some mismanagement going on. I just think that there is a need for a youth movement. That's not to say that Pop isn't a legend and he is undeserving of being a Hall of Famer. He is. He's on the Mount Rushmore of coaching no matter what happens. But why am I wrong in saying that, dude? It's time for a movement on the bench. A youth movement on the bench. We see that with Joe Mazzulla, Ime Udoka. We see that with Will Hardy. We see that all around the NBA, success stories of coaches in their 30s and early 40s who are doing things. And keep in mind, Pop was in his 40s when he became a Spurs coach. And he had no history as a coach in the NBA. He had no experience as a head coach.
Father Time is going to do his job, and you're going to get your wish sooner than later. But, as far as mismanagement of the team goes, I got to disagree with you because when they traded DeJounte Murray, they went into full rebuild mode. They didn't know, they were going to get Wemby, obviously, but they put themselves in a really good position. Like, I don't know if you remember, but they would be like, oh, wait, did you squint when you walked into the sun? You better sit down. It was literally like that 2022-2023 season. And Wemby joined one of the youngest teams in the NBA. They became the youngest team in the NBA that year. And, it's just, we were at opposite sides of the rebuild as the Thunder. A lot of people were like, well, the Thunder are also a young team too, but they had been starting their rebuild since the Paul George trade, and we just started ours the season before we got Wemby. And so we matched our season record. Thankfully, it wasn't worse than the year before Wemby, but that's the kind of stuff that happens when you had a team that was designed to tank. And where we took people that were throwaways from other teams' G League, second two-way players. We developed them. Julian Champagnie looks like he's blossoming now. We don't know what's going to happen with Charles Bassey. Hopefully his knees hold up, all that good stuff. But as far as mismanagement goes, I don't necessarily think it's fair to say mismanagement because, we did what we had to do to put ourselves in a position to get Wemby. Whether you agree with Team Tank or not or whatever, that's neither here nor there. It's what happened. And now we're on the way of coming back up. We brought in veterans this season. We went from having, a Jeremy Sohan experiment to drafting who I believe will be the point guard of the future, Stephon Castle, which is what the Spurs want, right? They want a bigger point guard, like a point forward archetype. And I think that's where they think the NBA is going. So whoever the next coach of the Spurs is going to be, whether it's Mitch Johnson or someone from the coaching tree, they're going to have to buy into the vision of, like a positionless basketball. That's where they think it's going. That's where it is in Europe already. And, that's what the Spurs want to do. And I think that to say that they're mismanaged is not fair because they're just getting started on this process.
Well, let me ask you
We
this
got a
question.
good comment coming in.
Well, let me ask one last question before we go to that. Spurs go off and win 30 games this year. Right? They go from 22-60 to 22-60 to 30-52. Do you still want Pop as the head coach?
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that he needs to be gone, but I do wish that there's like a succession plan where they're like, hey, like we're gonna bring in this guy, he's gonna be the coach, and like I'm just gonna get him through this season or whatever, and then I'm retired. Like I hope that something like that happens, but like I don't think that there needs to be like a, okay, Pop, well, thanks for everything you've done, but we're gonna move on type of situation. If he wants to retire and move on, then great. But like I don't think that he needs to be pushed out of the coaching position based on this season's record.
Talk to our good friend Matt Lermas. What you got, Joe?
Thanks, Matt. I'm going to go ahead and end the call here because we're going to go ahead and wrap the show up. But thank you so much for calling in, man. We look forward to you calling in again.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
No?
Bye.
Bye. All right. No, I was going to say this is a good comment that they had right here. I think it was by, let me see. Right here, Sam Salinas. Look at that.
We get mediocrity when we accept mediocre players.
Is he wrong?
I mean, no lies detected.
Is he wrong?
No lies detected when it came
all.
to it.
Because at the end of the day, they need to get bucket getters around Wemby so they can do one simple thing, and that is put the ball in the freaking basket, dude.
Dark Aeons, by the way, has a really good point here about Wemby, saying I hope he looks at Anthony Davis's game yesterday. Anthony Davis had 34 points, but only 3 3-point attempts.
Hey, man, sometimes you don't need to be shooting no threes, dude.
We saw that with Sohan the other day when he shot 9 for 13 in a preseason game. He doesn't need to be chunking up 6 3-pointers per game.
Neither does Zach Collins. For the love of God, bro, stop chunking up those threes.
Yeah,
dude is Brick City, man.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. Play in the paint. Play your size. He's one of the biggest guys out there on the court. Play inside the paint.
I'm optimistic for a Spurs season that's going to be like something that's out of our minds, that we're going to look back and go, I cannot believe the Spurs are 7-3. Can you believe this? We're first right now. I'm hoping for that.
You know what this San Antonio Spurs team needs to do, dude? And it pisses me off a lot of times. And I'm going to come out and say it. I don't care if it's a hot take or not. They play soft. They need to play with some fucking balls, bro.
That's a very
play
good
with
point.
some balls. Play
That's
with some
very good
balls.
point.
Let your nuts hang. Go in the paint and push some people around.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
just
you.
there letting people push you around and do whatever they want. Oh, I'm going to flop on the ground. Grow a set of nuts, dude. Show me something.
Thank you. Agreed.
You
we
know?
saw that last year when Sohan got into that dust up there with Amen Thompson there in Houston, right? Started blowing him kisses, right? We need a little bit of nasty, right?
Yeah.
That's what Pop said back in the day. So I'm perfectly fine with that. I kind of feel like Cowboy fan right now in the sense that you know what the deficiencies are. Cowboy fans knew we have no running game. Cowboy fans knew that there was no defensive line, right? Cowboys knew that. Fans knew that. But you go into the season with like we dem boys attitude. You go into the season with like optimism that they're somehow going to figure it out because Prescott's going to be like amazing, right?
And look at
Spurs
Nation.
But you see that when it comes to the Spurs, what do you see? You got a 40-year-old point guard. I don't care if Chris Paul's a legend and a future Hall of Famer. He's 40. Okay. No. There's been no point guard in NBA history who's done 20 years, and that's what he's trying to do. You've got Vassell, who's always hurt. You've got Champagny, who, he's playing better in the preseason, but at the end of the day was an undrafted guy. Wasn't even drafted in the second round.
Yeah.
Right? And you have him starting. You have Sohan, who, I mean, don't be wrong, if he plays within himself and does what he does well, great. He might have a breakout year.
Yeah.
But if he's out there chunking 5 or 6 3-pointers per game, it ain't gonna be good.
What were the Spurs known for when they were winning their championships in 2003? 05, 7.
They were known for shooters,
No. They were not. They were known for shooters.
shooting the right shot.
But when they would go to other arenas and they would introduce the San Antonio Spurs, you know what they would come out to? That Star Wars song, the Empire song with Darth Vader. Because you know what? People had a perception of San Antonio. And what was that? They were a hard-nosed team that liked to get scrappy, dude. They'd like to get in those dust-ups, push people around.
And now we're like Kobe Bryant and that gift
You know?
going soft.
What happened when let's put it, Robert Horry, hip check, Steve Nash.
Yeah.
What did that send a message to the rest of the league? That this team ain't nothing around. They're going to do whatever it takes to win, right? And they would go out there and they would throw down, dude. And they were known for hard-nosed basketball.
Dude,
now,
back when Robinson was a rookie and second-year player,
yeah,
Terry Cummings would give you a look of like I will beat the living crap out of you and average 23 points per game. Don't mess with him.
Yeah.
Mario Ellie, when
he was a dog.
When Duncan first came in the league, Mario Ellie was that guy.
Antoine Carr, the great Antoine Carr. He was a dog, dude. He was a dog.
So the Spurs, I'm optimistic, man, because I'm hoping that Wemby carries them over the finish line. But my goodness, man, there are some deficiencies on here, and it starts at the bench.
You know what? I'm glad they didn't bring out those freaking Fiesta colors, man. Because you know what? That harkens back to the days of being soft sometimes. Yep. I want them to play hard-nosed basketball. That's traditional silver and black. Run with it. Move forward with it. Find an identity. That's what I want this team to do. Find an identity. Go out there. Play with some balls, man.
I know. And Spurs fans thinking that Harrison Barnes and CP3 are going to be like great things for the Spurs. Hey, what was the word I used, Joe? What did they do? They punted.
They punted. Punting the season away.
Hey, we're going to be cheering for the Brooklyn Nets tonight. Brooklyn Nets taking on the Atlanta Hawks. That's a game because we have Atlanta's first-round draft pick.
Midtown Texas. I blame the hype squad.
Yeah.
Jeez. You know what? That's who I want to get on the show. Devin Brown, bro. San Antonio legend. San Antonio Spurs legend. Devin Brown. Grew up here.
West Campus.
Went to West Campus. Won a championship. I mean, played with UTSA, dude.
Hey, where are we watching the first game of the season, man?
I don't know.
We're going to the Rock?
I'm going to go to the Rock because remember I told you what they're doing on Saturday. They're having that party, that 80s party, right?
Yeah.
Kind of throwback. They're going to have some cover bands up there. Sounds like a good time, dude.
Yeah.
I'll
go to the Rock and not even go to the Spurs Club. I'll be with the gente.
Well, we're going to hang with the gente. You're going to hang with the peasants.
I look down from the third floor. Go, peasants.
You're going to take your girl with you?
Oh, dude, she's going to be in Houston this weekend, so she'll be in town next week. So I go twice. She comes once. Comes by once. So
look at Angel Gutierrez. I need to know why Rock and Bruce got the boot from the Frost.
Thank God, man. Rock and Bruce was awful.
Nah, bro. Rock and Bruce,
dude. Rock and Bruce, like the nice, the one, the freestanding one on I-10.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
It's nice. I like it there. I like it a lot. Rock and Bruce at the Frost Bank Center with their $14 beers. F that, man.
And the food was all right.
I'll have a Jack and Diet. All right, that'll be $28.
Nah, no, bro. I'm good.
No, I'm good.
We can go get what? $8 over here at Style House, maybe less. You know,
and if the Rangers are winning World Series,
it's free.
It's free,
and we get to hear the barflies go up there and sing karaoke, smoking the cigarettes. Hey, honey, how you doing?
World Series, Yankees Dodgers gets going on Friday, 7:08 first pitch. Who gives a crap? It's baseball.
No, I give a crap. It is the World Series. Going for the Dodgers because I can't stand the Yankees. Get started on Friday at 7:30.
I got a bunch of family in LA that are Dodgers fans. I guess I'll go for the Dodgers.
Hey, man, pour some out again for Fernando Valenzuela, dude. The GOAT.
Passed away. Dude, that's going to be rally around Fernando. Dude, game one, I bet you they're going to have a tribute. They have to.
They have to, man. You got to do something.
He was part of that broadcasting crew back in the day.
Bro, he put the Dodgers on the map there, man.
Yeah.
That Fernando Valenzuela.
Put the San Antonio Missions on the map for a good while there. Back in the day when they had Valenzuela and
Fernando Mania, dude. Remember that back in the 80s, man.
Good. All right, brothers. This is it. Tomorrow we'll be talking about the Spurs start of the season because, again, game one is tomorrow against the Mavericks. Mavericks are by 7.5 points. Thank you to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken Stock for being on. Thank you to MCS General Contracting. And thank you to myself, Michael Jimenez. My number is 210-508-0369. 210-508-0369 if you have any questions or concerns when it comes to financial products such as IRAs, 401k, rollovers, annuities, investments, life insurance, long-term care, disability, all that stuff. That's what I do. I've been doing it for 19 years. I'm a bit of a badass when it comes to it. 210-508-0369. Joe, you know what I'm going to do right now? I think I'm going to go get me that truck.
There you go.
Joe, I think that truck is mine, baby. I have never bought anything that nice in my entire life. And I think I'm going to go get it right now. 798 credit score, Joe. That's what they told me.
And there you go.
798 got me qualified. 2025 Ram 1500 Rebel.
Oh, you're going to go get you a Ram?
Yeah.
Sucker's going to have its motor blown out, dude.
Oh, well. I'm gonna lease it for the first couple of years. So hey, my problem.
My friend got a brand new Ram.
Yeah.
Motor burned out like in a month or two, dude.
Dude, that's why you lease it the first 2 or 3 years, man, because it's their problem, not yours. I'll be back tomorrow with Joe. See you guys later. Thanks for being on.